General Jack Keane, retired four-star general, former Army Vice Chief of Staff, and Fox News senior strategic analyst, joins us tonight. Good evening, General. Good to see you.
Good to be here, Martha.
So this is evidence that they have violated the UN resolutions under which this Iran deal exists, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the tragedy of this, and you mentioned it in the introduction, is we wanted to put this on the table initially as part of the condition for having a nuclear deal with the Iranians. But the Iranians said, no, we're not going to discuss any of this malign behavior, any of this kind of aggression. It's not related to nuclear. So here we have Iran being totally exposed for providing short-range ballistic missiles, anti-tank weapons, patrol boats rigged for detonation, and also UAVs to the Houthis, all being used against Saudi Arabia, who's an ally of the United States, after they've toppled the friendly government in Yemen.
Yeah, I mean, this obviously puts us in a pretty tough position. So what do we do?
Well, first of all, one of our problems we have is exposing it the way we're doing it is good, because I think it brings our allies closer to us in pushing back on Iran's malign behavior. As a matter of policy, the president has said he wants to push back on Iran. But we don't have a strategy with specifics to do that. As an example, Iran is trampling all over Syria. They about own the country. The Institute for the Study of War has declared that Iran has established a land bridge now from Iran through Iraq, through Syria to Lebanon. That is something that we should never have permitted to happen. Iran is trampling over our political interests in Iraq. They've got 150,000 Shia militia, Martha, some of whom are on the border with Syria and Iraq, but who have undue influence in Iraq. We should be pushing back on that. And we should also be taking a stand to help Saudi Arabia with the problem they have in Yemen. But we don't have any of those specifics.
Well, I mean, you have long mapped and tracked the expansion of Iranian power throughout the Middle East, and it's clear that their goal is to take over and dominate the entire Middle East. And unless somebody pushes back on that, that's pretty much the road that they're on. So in order to do that down the road, we may need a stronger defensive position. And I know you're very concerned about the budget issue that would be essential to President Trump's desire to increase our defenses.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, good news this week. The president signed into law the FY18 National Defense Authorization Act, which brings us close to a $700 billion budget, approximately a $100 billion plus up over Obama's budgets, which is a huge down payment in rebuilding the military. Problem is that the budget caps are still there, and the appropriators have to pass legislation, and they have to remove those budget caps, or we don't fund $700 billion, we fund $549, and that means no, I say no, military plus up. That's got to be done in the next couple of weeks, and they need Democratic support to do it. I think they'll likely get it, Martha, because they'll probably work some deal with the Democrats to give them some increase in spending as well.
Important to watch. General Jack Keane, always good to see you, sir. Thank you very much.